I was recently told that you're different from other guys by a girl that I was talking to. And I feel like most guys, it goes one of two ways. One, they don't believe the girl because they're putting on a front. Or two, it's just hard to believe her just because they don't get told that often. But I asked her how, and then she said, every time I do something or say something, I expect a certain reaction, but I never get it. Which means I'm unpredictable, but in the best way possible. The moments when she knows she's self-sabotaging, usually it kills a connection, but because I do overlooked connection skills, it doesn't. So this led me to believe that overlooked communication skills should be common, but they're overlooked. By definition, this means they're not common. And so you become uncommon when you just don't overlook them. And examples are eye contact, deep listening, being succinct with your words. And I think for some reason over the past couple of years, I've done that kind of work. And then I get told that. And so I'm different.
What does succinct mean again?
I think it's being able to say what you mean to say without using too many words.
Okay. Nice. You know, she told me the exact thing that my girl told me one time, and it made me realize that we're all different in this way with our communication skills, but also just our mindset. But I was talking to her in the gym, and
Talking to who?
your girl, bitch.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And I was like, I forgot what I said, but her response was just that you're written by a woman. She was like, I tell him that all the time.
She told me that once.
She's like, I'm always saying, like, you're written by a woman. It's like a woman wrote a book on how to treat her, how to treat a woman, and gave it to you. And then it just reminded me of me, to be honest.
Really?
Yeah, I got told the same thing. And
Interesting.
so I had a little urge to be like, my girl told me that too.
That's
But but out of like pride, like it made me proud of you.
Thanks.
I made me proud of like just us and us as a friend group, and also us as brothers, just type of people we are.
Yeah.
So I think about that. And,
So, do you think the direction of this pod would go more towards that or just in general?
probably just in general.
Okay, so we should probably let that be known now. If you're not in a relationship, don't click off.
Yeah. This isn't a relationship podcast. This is we're talking about general communication skills. But the ones that are overlooked, and once you stop overlooking these communication skills that we're talking about, you're gonna become that person that girls, your friends, your brothers, your family, whoever, you're gonna become that person that they talk about and then like, wow, like that guy or that girl is a great communicator, or just there's something different about them.
Yeah.
And first, I'd like to say a really big thing in communication is asking the right questions. And the best way to ask the right questions is to ask questions you've never thought to ask before. And that's exactly what we have in my hand right here. This is How Deep Will You Go, our card game. To build deeper connections with anybody that you play it with. And we also have a lover's edition for couples, and it's not out yet. It's for couples who said I love you. So if you happen to be in a relationship and you said I love you, this is for you. It comes out in August. And yeah, so it's really interesting that we're talking about communication, because I feel like you specifically have accidentally became the communication master.
Yeah.
Like that's the content you create for How Deep Will You Go.
Okay.
So honestly, whenever I was like drafting this and writing my notes, I actually like, I knew I wanted you on the pod for sure. Just because you have a lot to say. Got a lot of wisdom to speak.
Thanks, bro. By the way, there's a question on here that I want to ask you too. Maybe for later, but like, it's basically, what are obscure ways that you've kind of built uncommon communication skills?
Okay.
Kind of ways people wouldn't expect. Because I have like 2 answers. Should we save it?
Now, let's start with that. But let me pre-frame the audience and also you on why I actually called it overlooked communication skills.
Yeah, I was kind of having trouble on what that meant.
Me too. But what I
Reddit?
thought about, so I was doing research on the podcast and like what the audience likes, what they're asking for, and I realized social skills is like a really big thing. But part of social skills is communication skills. But I think when you think of communication skills, you kind of only think of somebody letting you know what they're doing or just being a good like updater. But overlooked communication skills are the communication skills that aren't looked at, they're felt. So eye contact. I feel like you feel
wow.
eye contact.
I thought of something right before the podcast with the exact thing, eye contact.
Really?
Yeah, there was a quote I thought of, not from anywhere. It was, eye contact tells a story that words can't.
Exactly. I like that. It's exactly like I said it. But that's why I said that. Because the overlooked ones are the ones that are subliminal, but the ones that matter the most.
So nonverbal,
Yeah.
usually?
Yeah.
Okay.
But there's also verbal and like intentional communication skills that are overlooked as well. So I wanted to just put overlooked.
Okay, what are some of those?
Some of those, you finna find out, my boy, because I got notes I ain't looked at in a couple days.
Oh, this is days ago?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, I actually played it yesterday. By the way, guys, I'm Cody.
Stain.
And yeah, we're gonna have Kevon or Brandon or Ledarius, if you know who they are. We're gonna have any of them on today. Kevon's asleep. He's straight up playing poker. He won like $300 out of nothing. But yeah, so right before we answer your question, I want to just let the audience know. Go ahead and rate the podcast if you're on Spotify, and go ahead and like the podcast if you're on YouTube. That just puts us in the algorithm. It grows the channel, it grows the podcast, it grows the audience, and it allows our wisdom and our knowledge to be spread across everybody else. And I know you might not really care about everybody else's knowledge, but maybe you have a relationship with us. So just do us a favor and do it. And yeah. What's your question?
What are overlooked communication skills?
No, the other question.
That's what it was, I think.
The very first question that you asked?
Oh, you're talking about like the obscure thing?
Yeah.
Oh, like, what are obscure ways that you've developed uncommon communication skills?
Okay. I see where you're going, why you wanted to start it in the middle. Not in the middle, but were you wanting to talk about what overlooked communication skills and uncommon ones are first?
Maybe that makes sense. But yeah.
Yeah.
Because it's more like at the end, it's like, well, how do I do this? And it's like, well, here's some weird ways we did.
Yeah, that's true.
So.
Well, I guess it's brainstorm. I think one of the most common uncommon ones is eye contact. It's like really common now, but also I don't really notice when people do it. I only notice when they really do it.
Yeah.
And so that's why I would say it's uncommon. That's very rare. And I actually have a story about that.
What?
I forgot, I do have a story. So the first time I've ever experienced a girl having uncommon communication skills is my girl, Jessica. We were sitting down at Landis, and I think this was like the one time I got nervous. For some reason, I don't really get nervous around girls. And like I stopped becoming nervous like a couple years ago. And with a grain of salt. And I remember we were sitting there, and that was the one thing that made me nervous, bro. She literally had better eye contact than me.
Like she'd be like this?
Yeah. And like
Was it like this or was it like this?
I think it was just looking at me. But it was like she was piercing through me. That's what it felt like. And it was just insane. Her eye contact was better than mine. And I would notice it, and I'm like, holy shit. And it wasn't a competition. But witnessing somebody hold eye contact more comfortably than I do, it was like scary in a way.
I feel that.
Because that's something that we practice.
Yeah.
We're going to publish, man.
Okay, bro.
And I forgot where I was going with that. Oh, that's just the first time I experienced a woman. I'm not saying women don't have uncommon social skills, by the way. Or I get flamed. What's another one, though?
When's the time you learned one unexpectedly?
honestly, with like customers, really, with customers, for how deep we go specifically, because I used to handle the customer
I
emails,
was thinking Publix.
customer service.
Okay.
And I didn't really practice it at Publix because I like really didn't give a fuck. And I did, but towards the end I didn't. But I think I got really good at it whenever I started doing like customer service emails myself. And I would see somebody's one-liner who's like, I didn't get my package, it's been a month. And what they really want is to be seen, for one. They want to be heard and understood. And then they want to feel like somebody cares about them. 9 times out of 10, if I would just email them back and I would say, hey, Adam, I'd be like, hey, Adam, I understand the concern with the shipping taking longer than expected. I want you to know that I'm aware of that, and we are aware of that. USPS just has been taking a really long time. We've been shipping them out on time. It's just these and international orders have been taking a long time recently. Apologize for the inconvenience. Let me know if you'd like a refund, something like that. And then they usually hit back, be like, okay, thanks. And just be like, I really appreciate it. And usually with those, if I email a shit customer service, like let's just say something I bought, and they're like,
We're sorry to hear this. If you have questions, feel free to let us know.
yeah. There was actually one. So there was a course that I bought, and I couldn't log in. I still can't log in. I have to like open a different type of browser to log in. And so I emailed them and I said, hey, I can't log in. Do you guys think you can reset the password on your end? And then they were like, it wasn't that though. It was I could log in, but I couldn't access my training material.
Yeah.
And so I was like, is there something that y'all can do? And they were like, they literally just said, clear your cookies. That's it. And I was like, bro, I don't want to clear my cookies. All my passwords are on there.
Yeah.
And which are not. It's just I'm logged into everything. And I don't know the password to anything. And so it was just annoying. And like I shouldn't have had to go back and forth. And so enough with like business customer service. I'm relaying that into real life. Whenever somebody has an issue, a really good way to communicate is let them know that you hear them. And it sounds simple, but it's really uncommon.
Yeah, it's true. You know, something that's like on the lines of that, letting you feel heard. It's so weird how common it is, because like I notice it now, but whenever, let's say you open up and then someone, they immediately give you advice or like move on. Even if you don't necessarily want to go deeper, if someone asks you a follow-up question, like you just mark it in your head and it's like, oh wow, they just care. Like they want to know more. I know it's kind of random to say, but it just reminded me of that.
No, it's not at all. It just made me realize I think I'm stretching, like looking too far for uncommon communication skills.
Really?
Yeah, but what you just said, it feels so normal to me and you, but it's literally not normal at all. It's one of our biggest issues that me and you talked about. Actually, you said it a couple months ago. You're like, why didn't anybody ever ask fucking follow-up questions?
Yeah.
I remember you were like adamant about that for like a month.
Yeah.
So I would say that is an uncommon communication skill.
And not even that, like there's like a 3-word phrase that I use that's also an uncommon communication skill. And I'm pretty sure Simon Sinek said this, so like I don't need any fucking source. Like it's Simon Sinek. It's just tell me more. Like if someone tells you something, 9 times out of 10, they have more to say about it, but they don't feel fully invited to share more. And then you just say, tell me more, and then they do. I thought of something while you were talking. At Publix, because I thought of Publix when you said the customer service. It wasn't me who like noticed myself doing something. It was like there's customers who like you can tell they're trying to act very friendly and very nice, but you still feel kind of like a disconnect. And then there's the ones who just dicks, and then there's the middle, the ones who say the same thing as the super happy-go-lucky guys, but they're calm as fuck. And then you feel a connection with them. Like they're just like, what's up, man? How's it going? And like, I'm good. But what about you? It's like, Pretty solid, bro. It's a good ass day, but yeah, man. And like they're just really chill, and that's when you feel like, I like this guy.
Where are you going with this?
Tonality.
Okay, tonality.
Yeah.
I like that.
Like tonality is also the thing that makes corny phrases sound sexy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, when I was the public system, my tonality. Like, hey, how are you?
Oh my God, bro. Fucking pussy, bro. I'm just playing. I ain't gonna lie. I agree with you, though. Towards the end, like, I was such a douche. Not necessarily. Customers wouldn't know it, but in my head, I was a douche, bro. Like, I ought to say that. Like, I didn't want to do shit. I was just like...
Yeah, me neither.
Anyway, let's move on.
Like, we low-key deserve to get fired. Well, I ain't even gonna lie.
Nah, bro. Well, I can't say why. But...
Why?
There's just the COVID shit. Like, when I would not wear my mask. Like, I never wore it. And then they tried to fire me for it.
They tried to fire you for that shit?
Yeah.
Damn. I got in trouble for wearing a do-rag one time.
Why? I'm trying to get waves, bitch.
No, I don't even know why I wore it. I think it was Noah's. I just put it on to work, and then I got called in the office.
That's pretty funny, though, to be honest.
Yeah.
But what's your next note?
It's actually the first one, which is communication skills is something I've struggled with my whole life. And I'm starting to believe that some people naturally have great communication skills. I'm not saying that they're born with it. Maybe they are. I do believe some people are born with certain talents. But some people just naturally, as growing up, they tend to hold on and develop communication skills when I never really focused on that.
What story makes sense as to why?
Well, we're moving.
Huh?
We're moving August 6th. And whenever I found out the date, I was like, I'm going to tell my sister. I was like, that's the first person I'll tell. And then I tested her. And then she was like, really, over a text?
She said that?
Yeah.
Oh, man.
And then I was like, damn. Like I was like, I was like, y'all are the first people I wanted to tell. And then I got that. And maybe like that's normal and like culturally to call people about big things like moving and stuff, but it wasn't to me. Like it just felt like, okay, I'm moving, I'm just gonna tell you. And so I think realizing the importance of what I'm saying to somebody else. I don't think I've
That's a good
realized
point.
that.
That's a really good point. And you can only get that through learning. And
Yeah.
can I like add on to...
Yeah.
Because I formulated a story in my head makes sense why you said that. So you said, like, you literally had good intentions of letting our sister know that we're moving, and then she was pissed at the way you did it.
Yeah.
And it makes me think, most of the way people are, unless they notice it, it roots back to the way they grew up. So I imagine, like, people with really good communication skills, like people who throw, like, baby showers and they're mad confident in them, they're just chilling. People who just throw, like, just, like, little events and stuff. Like, they kind of grew up in a family that they were close-knit and they did things like that. But, like, us, I mean, we're close-knit and everything, but we didn't do things. We kind of, like, distanced a little bit, in a way.
I agree.
Is that rolling?
Yeah. What's up, gang?
So that's why I think kind of don't understand, because you literally have zero reference for most things.
That's true. But why?
I don't know.
Like, bro, also, like, we don't text our family. We don't call our friends. We don't ask our friends to hang out. Even in high school, it was always everybody else asking to hang out with us.
It's probably like a really deep thing.
Why, though? Why didn't we ever think that? I still don't think to ask people to hang out. I think about them, and I'm like, damn, I hope they're doing good. And then move on with my life.
That's facts.
But I think a normal person would reach out and be like, let me hang out with them. Even if I'm like, I can't want to hang out with them, I literally won't do anything with that. And I know you're the same way.
Yeah. I'm probably worse, to be honest. But sometimes I'm snap out of it. I'd be like, I'm just going to ask him. But
There's something I thought about. I'm itching to say it, which is confidence. That is a communication skill in itself. And I thought about that whenever you said the baby shower and you're confident at the baby shower. Because whenever you're confident, you literally invite people to want to talk to you. And if you're more reserved, you don't invite people. And because you're energetically communicating that you don't want to talk to somebody. Even if you don't care and do, the fact that you don't have confidence is telling everybody else that you don't want them to talk to you. And so I think energy, understanding energy and the way it works and the way it radiates. If you can do that, you can be a great communicator.
Did you hear that weird ass noise I just made?
Yeah, the fuck was that?
I don't know.
That's
It
like
sounded like
whistle,
a bird, bro. Bruh. You should me think of something. I think deep down, it's kind of like a vulnerable thought, but even though I'm confident and I have really good social skills, I usually don't start an interaction, especially if it's like a group. Like when we went to Hayden's baby shower thing, like when I went inside and went to get some food, like there's like a little group there, and I could have went in there and talked, but I think I just feel like a burden everywhere I go.
Really?
I'm not sure why. Do you feel like that?
Yeah, I had the exact same experience, but I realized it right as I was trying to walk out the door. And so I walked in that room where everybody was sitting at the table, and I think I ate. Me and Brennan ate.
Yeah.
With that little kid that was, I don't know, he was talking about girls and shit. But I remember we didn't talk to anybody. But then as I was leaving, I realized, actually, no, I left. But then I was talking to somebody at the party, and I realized I knew the person who was throwing the baby shower. I didn't even realize it, which was, fuck, what was her name? Haley?
The one who was in the back of the van?
I really hope I ain't botched that.
I don't know, man.
I'm sorry. But yeah, you're really cool. You know who you are if you're listening to this or watching. But I went back in there and I introduced myself to everybody. Because I was like, what would a confident guy do? And I think...
That's a good question. What'd you notice?
What I notice?
What'd you notice?
When I asked that question?
Yeah, because I asked this because like the people who are listening who feel the exact same way, they're like, okay, how'd that go then?
Oh, yeah, you're right. Okay, so I open the door back and I walk over there and I'm like, fuck, I wish I remembered her name, bro. I'm going to say Haley. That's just what's calling to me. And I'm like, hey, excuse me, guys. I know you. And I was like, Haley. And then she's like, yes. And I was like, I'm really sorry. I literally kind of looked past you because I didn't know if I knew you. You looked familiar, but I didn't know. And then I was like, and then it clicked whenever I was talking to people outside. And then I started telling everybody. And I was like, I'm Cody, by the way. And I just shook everybody's hand, I introduced myself. They were all having a conversation, by the way. And so I kind of interrupted it. But, and then I started talking to her again. And then I was like, am I like one of the first people that knew you at this place? She's like, yeah, actually, because we met her that day and so did Vince. And Vince introduced her to Hayden. And so we knew her before Hayden knew her. And that was fucking crazy.
Really?
Yeah.
Holy shit, they married fast.
Yeah, Vince met her the day that we met her. And then Vince introduced her to his fucking pilot school friend, Hayden, because they were both lonely.
Dude, you're throwing name bombs everywhere, bro.
Dude, they were open about this.
Yeah.
And so first of all, I'm flabbergasted still, like when I think about that. But yeah, and then I kind of carried the conversation, I guess, and I kind of introduced everybody else to the conversation. I said, did y'all ever see that video that she was in? And everybody was like, no, what are you talking about?
Oh my God.
And then I was like, well, it was like 2 years ago. We did a video where we kidnapped our followers, and we just so happened to kidnap her because her friend got kidnapped by us. And so she was next. And then...
I think our twist on it, by the way, was really weird. Like, it probably should have just been a fun video. You know what I mean?
Yeah. What was the twist?
Like, deep questions. Because it was just what we did.
Yeah, facts.
So that's kind of weird, but...
It was.
It was chill, I guess.
Yeah, that's cool. But yeah, and I told them about it. And then they were all like, let me see the video. And then I didn't really know if I, like, embarrassed her. I didn't know if she wanted that buried down. Because you know how it is. Whenever somebody goes viral and they didn't realize it, they just don't want it there. And then,
I would have been red-faced as fuck, by the way.
What?
I would look like that box, bro.
Just
that whole conversation, yeah. Like, I wouldn't even feel awkward. I'd just be red.
Yeah, I mean, I probably was. I got red, too. And so I was talking to him, and her best friend, actually, was asking me, like, questions. But I would look at everybody when I was talking. By the way, it's really hard to carry a conversation when you're looking at people. That's something that's not a habit for me.
Now you got to be like this to talk and get your point across.
But also, like, I have to think about, make sure everybody's engaged. And so whenever that becomes a habit, my communication skills are going to be up there.
Can that be forced, though? Like, I can imagine if someone's not engaged, like, you might as well let them not be. Like, imagine you do not feel like answering a question and the teacher calls on you to answer it, and you're like, fuck.
That's true.
So I don't know.
I think it's more so. Damn, I actually learned that a long time ago. Talk to everybody when you're talking to somebody.
That's
It's
what I
more of
learned.
an acknowledgement.
Okay.
Like if they're listening, because people just look at a conversation like this and listen. And so if they're listening, and if I look at them as I'm talking, it's like inviting them to actually listen.
That's funny. That's a big thing. Not funny, but like it's funny how that's like a big thing I learned about approaching a group when you want to get to know one girl, like get her number. Because, bro, the beans is guys do this too. Someone you're talking to is like twice as fine if your friends think they're fine and great. If your friends think they're amazing, great, sexy, all that shit, you're like, yeah, they are. But if they don't, you question yourself a little bit. And it's the same thing with like first impressions. When you go up to like a group and you only introduce yourself to the one girl and then everybody else is like looking and shit, they're not having good thoughts about you because you're interrupting their girl with them. But like if you make it fun and engaging for all of them, like they're like, well, he's a chill guy. Like he was confident. Like that was cool. And then the girl's like, yeah, that was cool. And she texts you. So.
That's a good ass point.
I said that really bro, by the way. If I wrote that shit, it'd probably be way more poetic.
Yeah. That's a good point, though. I literally envision myself being at Landis.
Have you done that before, where you approach your group?
I ain't gonna lie, bro. I think I was too scared to do that.
Okay.
I never knew how to navigate that, but now I do.
I think I've only done that on the night out.
Really?
Yeah, it was it Auburn when it was those girls in a firefighter uniform?
I didn't go
It
out
was
that
like,
night.
oh, yeah. It was like 3 of them.
I locked down, bro.
Oh, God. It was like 3 of them. And, yeah, that's all I'll say, really. But, like,
Bro, go ahead, bro. It's a pod.
yeah, it was like 3 of them. And they're all in, like, the firefighter costume. And instead of, like, going up to the girl and being like, you look good tonight, like, kind of jokingly, I don't remember what it was. It was like a Halloween thing. And I was like, I think I said some corny shit like, I walked over here, I felt on fire.
Oh
Some
my
shit.
God, bro. You said that?
Yeah, some shit like that. But obviously, it depends on how you say it, bro. If you say it and like you're corny. But if you say it, you're just like, I'm fucking around. And you're like, what's y'all's name? And then you're like, y'all are firefighters, huh? And be like, who's like the leader of the squadron? And then like, you know what I mean? They just all engage and it's like fun. And then you're like, actually, I'm eyeing you though. What's your name? And then she's like, oh, I'm Rebecca.
Is that how it went? How you're saying it?
Probably similar, yeah.
Okay. What was the outcome? Number? Gum?
Shut up, bro. Like some smooching, really?
Bro?
Yeah.
Oh, shit. Okay. You boys take Riz lessons from Austin.
Yeah, bro. Kiss girls in the club, bro.
All right, but question: Are you in Shorty exclusive?
Yeah, let's not have this conversation on the podcast.
Because I don't know what you can talk about. You know.
I know what you mean. Nah, you can talk about anything.
Okay. Okay.
But the answer is no. But like a no.
It's muddy waters, boy.
It is muddy waters. I gotta clear them up.
Oh God. I wanted to say, you know how I think there's so many bitches at FSU?
Bitches or like bitches?
Bitches.
Like bitch?
No, like he gets bitches like girls.
Who?
Manny.
He does?
Manny. I think he does.
You think he does?
Yeah, he is even though he's kind of short, he's like perfectly built.
Yeah, he's pretty sexy, no gay shit.
Yeah, like he's a sexy man. And he's also very chill, very, very confident, but like the low key, like the mysterious. Like he'll just be like, what's up, bro? Just like that. But it has a confident vibe to it.
I don't know about that one.
And he goes out 4 times a week, bro. I know he gets busy.
Does he really? Bro, he's funny, bro.
Yeah.
Bro, he told me, actually, that's funny. He told me, he was like, I'm finna be in Tally. I know y'all go there sometimes. We should like get a workout in Tally. I was like, that'd be sick.
Yeah, I'm gonna be there a lot, so I'll probably work out with him.
So I'm finna slide with you, babe. What's up?
You can.
Damn, bro. How far is this from Tampa?
4 hours.
Okay. All right, let's move on to the next note, bro. We've been yapping.
Hey, it's a pod, bro. They want to know that.
I mean, yeah, but...
So the next thing I have is that there's a few traits that I've learned to have great communication skills. But there's one thing that changed everything. It's being a man of my word.
I read that while I was sitting over there.
If I say something, I'm going to do it. if I tell you something, I will follow through with it. But at the same time, for someone who doesn't hone that, it requires a perspective shift.
Laughing aloud, face air.
And I actually wrote a whole post about this.
Wait, is that the lovers post?
Yeah, but also I was writing like a course outline, and I was actually writing the content, and I wrote an entire thing about commitment
Course outline for what?
for AchieveYou, like training outline.
So is this about like getting your goals?
Yeah,
Okay.
and so a huge thing is commitment / being a man of your word. They're both the same exact thing. It just applies to different areas of life. But if you're a man of your word, that means you are a man of your commitments. And so, whenever I started being a man of my word, I don't remember when it was, but I love that people could see that. And I started to become a lot more respected, especially if I tell you I do something. I'm not gonna lie, I kind of, I slip up sometimes. Sometimes I forget.
Forgot Roman's mic.
Yeah, I forgot Roman's mic yesterday. And that actually brings me to say that meant a lot to me to forget his mic. It's something that's kind of small, It's important to him, not so important to me if you really look at it like that. However, the commitment in itself to being like, yeah, I got you, I'll bring your mic, that's really important.
Yeah,
Because now he's not going to know if he can trust me to bring it again, if he needs something.
it's true.
And that's why commitment and being a man of word is so important. It's such an overlooked communication skill. 90% of the people that watch this, they're not a man of the word, a woman of the word. So I wanted to talk about how important it is. And one of the things you have to start doing is saying no more.
No more or no more?
No more. And I think you already know this pretty deeply.
Yeah, but I still resonated with that. I thought of 2 times in the past 2 days I folded.
Really?
Yeah, it was on Ace.
Ace?
He told me to call him, and I didn't. And my valid excuse is not valid, but I call people if I'm in the gym, and that's about it. But I don't have AirPods anymore, so I just didn't.
Why don't you have AirPods?
I lost them.
What the fuck?
So I didn't call him. And
But
so
you got masters, bitch.
huh?
You got masters.
I don't want to wear them to the gym because they'd be all sweaty, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I figured out you can literally easily unclip those things and probably get new ones.
Yeah.
So I'll probably do that.
Okay.
Yeah, my bad. I just took that shit. And
No,
then
good.
maybe another one is like, I fought on my word with Roman so many times. But also it's a lack of communication on both ends. Like, I'll text him like an idea. This is an example. We probably told you about this shit. I text him like, bro, I got an idea for when you come. And then 2 days later, he's like, what is it? And then I don't respond. I have literally 300 plus unread messages. And so like, I just have a weird habit of not responding to people. And so I thought he was over there. And like, I didn't respond. And then he like calls me one day and he's like, bro, you never told me the fucking idea. And I was like, fuck, my bad, bro. Call me like Saturday or something. I said some shit like that. And then ended up, I forgot about it. And like over and over again, I kept folding on that word with Roman with that. And so when I read that, I was like, yeah, I need to listen to that. Because I just thought of another one. I told bro I'd help him with a journal. That one dude. But then I find out we're moving in 2 weeks and fuck a ton of people want to see me. I have like parties and shit. You know what I mean? And so it's like, he's probably someone I should say no to now. Just for people I actually care about more.
Yeah.
And then I folded on him too. And so it was a good reminder. It's like, the more you say yes, the more you fold.
That's true. And if you say yes to everything, you literally have time for nothing. That sounds just so corny, bro. Why does that sound so corny?
That does sound corny, but it's fine.
But like,
And I think with being a man of your word, that's the biggest way to gain trust. But the problem is, trust is gained in droplets and dropped in buckets. So the one time you fold on your word with someone, that trust can be gone with that specific thing. Like,
Sure.
Roman's gonna ask Brandon to bring his mic tomorrow.
yeah, not me. I have a hot take.
So,
My hot take is that if you get taken advantage of, it's your fault.
why?
because you give off that energy that you get taken advantage of. Now, specifically, I'm going to touch point on this with being a man of your word.
I'm tweaking. I'm sorry. Alright, I'm good.
One thing, you put your trust in the people you know you shouldn't. That ties back into being a man of your word, because if you actually trusted yourself the last time you said you weren't going to agree to doing something with that person that you literally know you can't trust, then you wouldn't have been in that situation. Another thing, if you break that trust code with someone, there's a good chance they're going to break it with you. And I know that's kind of like, fuck, like it sucks. But that's just how it is. It's a lot easier to disrespect somebody who disrespected you.
You wanna know why that's true?
Why?
If I yawn, you yawn.
Literally. So that's my hot take.
See, bro? You're finna yawn too, bro.
I'm not finna yawn.
Yeah, you are.
No, I'm not.
You are. You're finna yawn right now. I know you feel that shit. Like,
A little bit. Holy shit.
See, bro, we're just creatures of fucking reciprocation.
Do you have more notes that you'd like to share?
Dude, no, only thing I have is that weird, obscure how thing.
Oh yeah, go ahead and ask that question.
All right, so we've touched on a couple of like overlooked communication skills, like the simple ones. An example is just saying, tell me more, asking follow-up questions. Was yours to understand, like actually try to understand someone?
No, you read that.
Yeah, I read that.
Oh, no, yeah, it is.
And then one was eye contact. You said, like, you noticed your girlfriend had better eye contact than you on Landis, and you were like, what the fuck? And it was intimidating. Before we get into this, is that a good thing, though? Because if she intimidated you, imagine how you are to someone else who doesn't have a good eye contact. Would that be intimidating to them?
Yeah, but in the best way. It was like a good intimidation.
Because they'll remember you for it? Not for it, but, like, they'll remember you.
Yeah, but also it was kind of sexy. It was like, damn, her eye contact's good.
Yeah. But, yeah, so, fuck. My question was, from earlier, what are some... All right, I'm going to define obscure. Obscure is, like, unnormal or, like, weird, random. It's kind of that scope. What are some obscure ways that you've gained uncommon communication skills?
One second, guys. I'm thinking.
You guys can think too, by the way.
Oh, I got one. I overanalyze people.
Tell me more.
I'm gonna give a picture to paint. When I'm in the gym, for some reason I'm always looking around. I'm always looking at people, watching them. I just do it. It's like it's just a habit of mine. Just look at people all the time. And sometimes I'll easily notice if somebody's uncomfortable. Or if they're happy. Kind of like an empath, but not like that. It's just, without any formal training, I think I can really judge how a person's feeling in that moment
Okay.
by just looking at them.
Do you want to do this where we bounce off?
Yeah.
Like, I say one, you say one type thing?
Yeah.
Do you want me to... Do you have examples? Or is that just something you notice?
Do I have examples? Sure I do. I'll think of it. Give me like 2 seconds. Or actually like 20. Okay, this isn't specific, I don't have a specific example, but I know it's happened. If it's like a group of us and somebody says something that somebody else in the group didn't like, but that person doesn't realize it, and I know they didn't realize it, but I can tell that they felt a type of way about that. And so usually I'll say something to kind of deflect it, and so it doesn't make the vibe weird. And so I just kind of deflect it, but I remember it so that we can come back to it. But I strategically will say or do something that will deflect the unintended reaction. Because that person didn't say it to hurt your feelings. It's just the way that you heard it and the way that the story that it's attached to in your brain is what's hurting your feelings.
Why do you think you can sense this?
Just look at people too much.
Okay. Can I offer like a reason why I think I would?
Yeah.
Which I don't. I'm pretty bad at guessing how people feel. But until I ask them and like, tell me more, and then I tell them, boom. But anyway, I mean, I've noticed growing up, it was a lot of that, like a specific thing of saying something that rubs you the wrong way, but it's like a habit, honestly, like a familiar habit. And so you notice it in other people. Does that make sense?
Yeah. That's probably right, because I was just thinking about how I've always done that. If somebody says something I don't like, or that hurts my feelings, I'll close off instantly.
Yeah. So you can sense it because you felt it.
Yeah.
That's empathy at its core. But
I'm an empath.
one that I have, cornball. One that I think I have is whenever someone makes someone else feel good, it makes me feel good. Even in a movie, or if I'm watching a video, in my head I just ask, all right, why? What did they do? And then like I kind of break it down like, okay, they said this little thing and then they felt a certain way, but the way they said it made them feel it too. And then like I'll just mental note it. Or even I'll look at, and there's a correlation, this may be a hot take, the attractive people are usually better at communicating and more confident if they're not cocky than most unattractive people. And like sometimes I'll keep an eye on the attractive people and be like, what do they do differently if they're good people? Because like I said in a post recently, true confidence makes people feel good being around you, and false confidence makes people feel below you when they're around you. And so I kind of analyze those people too, and I'm like, all right, how do they move a little bit? Like that one dude in the gym who's like I think he's in the Air Force or something. He's like training to be a pilot. He's like dapped up like, Joe bro.
Can I say his name?
Yeah.
Are you talking about Casey? Black guy?
No. I think his name's Nick.
Nick?
I think so.
Is that with...
Joe Burrow? He don't hang out with nobody.
Oh, Joe Burrow? Oh, yeah.
Like I noticed the way he dap you up, and he don't gotta say nothing. It's just like a good energy exchange. He's just like, what's up, man? He just daps you up, goes on. And like, what's the difference between him and like an unconfident guy? I say him because he's really fucking attractive to gay shit though. And I said, I made that shit gay, but like I need to put, like he's up here. Wait, he's up here. Like he just is. And so like sometimes I'll be like, all right, so like what would someone who's not confident do in the same exact situation? And like I think of that. So I just kind of analyze in a different way, just like you. What's another thing? Another obscure thing that made you better communicated?
I want to think of something small.
Okay.
Like simple. Meeting somebody at the level they're at.
What does that mean?
To me, let me know if you agree, because I think I learned this, pretty sure I learned this from you. If somebody's talking low, you talk low too. If somebody's talking excited, you get excited too. Meet them at the level they're at. I think it's most important when they're going through something,
Yeah.
but also when they're excited for something.
I could resonate. Thought of something, I forgot, I lost it. It's about that exact concept. Meet people at their level they're at. It also means their lens of something. Like that's what it means to understand someone, is meet them at the level they're at. Like you can give someone advice, but like for as long as they don't feel like you have their glasses on, you can't see what they see. So
That's very true. I would also like to add that being smart at the level they're at, it doesn't mean to fake it. Now, personally, I have excited energy in me all the time.
I don't know how, bro. Like, I've been noticing, I kind of wish I did. I literally feel so mellow inside all the time.
Really.
Yeah.
Like, right now, I'm mellow, pretty chill. But if Roman came out doing some stupid ass shit, I'd probably start doing some stupid ass shit with him.
Where's that come from?
What?
That, like, why are you kind of more, like, excited as a person, and then, let's say me, like, why am I not?
I don't. Let me know if you did this when we were younger. I would really focus on that, how I felt.
Okay. But how do you just change how you feel? Like, focus on feeling excited all the time?
No. It's deeper. I'm trying to think of a poetic way to say focus on seeing the good in everything. But that's kind of what it is.
I mean, at the end of the day, we're talking about overlooked concepts. And if you feel like you need to make something poetic, it means it's overlooked.
Sure. I think the reason I want to make it poetic is because it feels like it's deeper than just seeing the good in everything. But actually, what I think it is, now that I think about it, it's that I actually look for the good in everything. I actually feel the good in everything. And what made me hesitant to say that is a memory of women who I've talked to in the past, friends. And they're like, I just see the good in him. I just see the good in this person, my friend. I see the good in him. I see his potential. That's kind of the connotation that I feel with it. But I truly see the good in things.
Okay. I think I've fallen off that recently.
Falling off what?
That, seeing the good in everything. So how do you see the good in everything?
Do you realize that there is good in everything?
Yeah, but I just have I think it's a self-sabotage feeling. Like when I think of I'd see the good, it's like a little devil right here. You're just like, I don't know, buddy. So you're gonna get, I think it's the idea that you'll get blindsided by whatever it is you're thinking good of.
You down to keep taking a deep dive in this right here?
Sure.
I'm actually really interested. Guys, don't click off. We're gonna get to it. And I think you might help me figure out why I feel like I'm always kind of feeling good. And I wouldn't really say I'm always feeling good, but for the most part I am. I ain't gonna lie.
Yeah.
I'm gonna just spit. One, I actually genuinely look at life as a game. It's just fun. Things that happen, it literally feels like it's part of a game. Like it's what life feels like. Somebody can be like, just wait till this happens.
Oh God, bro.
That shit like that, bro.
Oh.
Help me, bro. I really don't know.
Okay.
Can you ask me questions?
So you get to play this game of life. It feels like a game. And experiences are just like part of the game. That's what you see. How does that differentiate from someone who doesn't see the good in everything? What do they live life by?
Remember when Brandon said that humans live life negatively, naturally? I trained that part of me to not live that way anymore. Whenever I was 15 to 17, that's literally what I focused on, is reframing that part of myself. Maybe it did me a better service than I ever thought.
How'd you do it? You
Practice
beating around the bush,
gratitude.
man.
Practice gratitude, yeah.
Is it?
No, that's not it. My limiting beliefs. I would visualize what I wanted, visualize me having it, the traits that I wanted in myself. That is a huge one. traits that I wanted in myself.
Yeah.
I wanted to be patient. I wanted to be calm. And I would practice that all the time. I would
remember that,
envision
bro.
so many situations.
I remember we would do the calm one together.
Yeah. It's
funny.
And one specifically, I would envision myself driving. And every time there's traffic or somebody pulls out in front of me, I don't get mad. I'm just like, oh, this is an opportunity to practice patience. And that sounds crazy optimistic to somebody that doesn't do that. But whenever I would drive, something would happen. And I'm just like, this is an opportunity to be patient. And I chose to look at it that way.
I forget about doing that until someone's in my passenger seat who's not normally in it. And then I'm like, holy shit, like they're tripping about everything.
Yeah, bro.
That's funny, man. All right, that's good. Okay. That's probably the answer then. Because a lot of answers to the questions that we ask on podcasts root back to Cody being 15 to 17, lowest point, gratitude journaling, and visualizing.
Yeah, bro. But it's literally just reframing your subconscious mind.
Okay.
I think that's exactly what it is.
Well, what's one thing I could do moving forward to like feel that spark again?
I think you overlook mindset.
What do you mean?
Like if I look back, you used to practice mindset things. I don't really know exactly, but what it feels like is it was like mindset, business, and then kind of left mindset there, and you're like, discipline's the only thing that matters.
Yeah.
And you kind of were like that for a little bit, as in like you would literally say things that felt like discipline was the only thing that mattered, which it's actually one of the main things.
It's the only thing that matters when you have nothing else.
It's true. But maybe you left behind the mindset part.
Yeah.
And now there's probably a negative connotation behind mindset. There's actually a negative connotation for me too. There was a guy that I had a call with the other day, and he was telling me the biggest part to watch trading and being a watch dealer is your mindset. And like in my head, I'm like, this shit bullshit, bro. But it's not.
Yeah.
And I know it's not deep down, but I still feel the resistance.
I think I do feel resistance towards mindset when, I guess candidly, sometimes I notice people around me do mindset for hours in a day without doing anything else. And then that feels some type of way to me. And I don't want to do that.
Me too. And that's where I agree with Charlie Morgan on that personal help is bullshit.
Yeah.
There's people that abuse it and just think that they're going to manifest their life if they focus on the mindset. But I think it's a balance.
Yeah. I think one thing I've stopped doing a lot is meditating. I don't meditate recently.
Really?
Yeah. I do visualize. I visualize traits though. It's never like I kind of copied the back of your journal. That's actually one of the obscure things.
Okay.
And then also gratitude journal, but that's been so hard recently. Not saying I don't feel grateful for anything, because I do, but like I almost feel like I don't feel like writing the gratitude. Like I'm kind of like
Brando casting.
Fair.
Yeah, I should stop journaling this week, like intentionally.
Okay. Do you feel better so far?
It's not about me feeling better. I think some things serve you to a certain extent. And I think journaling, I did it for five or 6 years every single day. And it served me the entire time. And it still does. But I think what served me better now, the fact that I have such an amazing mindset, and I can proudly say that about myself, to myself. I don't need to journal every day. Most of my journals are short as shit now. Because I don't know what to write. I'm just like, oh, like life is beautiful. I love this shit. I'm grateful. And then sign my name and I'm done. And so I'm trying it out. It's like a test. Because I could be wrong. But I'm trying out only journaling whenever I feel the need to.
Okay.
But to go back to your original question on like what's something you could do. Try to see the good in everything. Like
How?
force yourself.
That's what I'm asking.
Write it down.
What's the action step?
Write down what is the good out of this. And I'm going to say moving. I know it might be a sensitive subject. But like with moving to Tampa, I feel so good about it. And like, I know the risks that you talked about, like the fears. Like I see them too. but I just feel good about it. And I'm not saying that you're wrong or that I'm right. I think it's just the fact that maybe I just learned how to not latch on to the bad.
I don't think it's a bad I latch onto. I think it's control.
Control.
Like, it's not like when I move out of my hometown, kind of what happens next is not really in my control. It's everyone. And like, it's sketchy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I get what you're saying.
That's the biggest thing. The way my life goes after this is out of my control. To an extent. But like, from what the chosen path we've all taken along, it's out of our control individually. That might be the biggest one.
I feel that. It's kind of hard to give action step with something like that specifically. Like, I don't know exactly. Do you have anything that you kind of have like do you have anything that you have a negative feeling towards? Or just wish you could feel better about?
One's stupid, one's not. Cleanliness in a new home. And
Wow, I didn't realize how loud that was.
yeah, it's probably obnoxious in this bitch. So cleanliness in the new home. Like, I look back on the video and I was like, how the fuck are we gonna clean up there? It's impossible. We're gonna have to hire somebody.
We know.
In our new crib, it's fucking tall as shit. And like, there's no stairs around it. So it's like,
Oh, we have a gas stove.
that's pretty cool. That's pretty cool.
I thought I was like, yeah, what was that, bro?
Nah, that's sick. Gas stoves are cool. But, oh man, we gotta know how to use that motherfucker.
Yeah.
But, all right, cleanliness, and then team motion, I think is what it is. It's like when it feels like, I don't ever feel that, and like I want to. Like, that I think would feel better. But also, it's like part of me. Like, recently things have dipped a little bit, and I feel like in a way, like I don't really know what to do. I feel like I'm always trying shit, which I guess a good entrepreneur would tell me, like, that's exactly where it's supposed to be, and like it's what it's supposed to do. But part of me is like, but when am I gonna like actually figure this shit out? But
Okay,
yeah.
I feel that.
But Eman Gadget did just post on his story. He was like, 0 to 1K a month. What the fuck am I doing? 1 to 10K a month. What the fuck am I doing? 10 to 100K a month. What the fuck am I doing? 100K plus a month. What the fuck am I doing? You'll never feel like you know what you're doing.
Yeah, that's so fucking true, bro.
Yeah.
And it looks like everybody knows what they're doing outside, bro.
And I hate it. Ooh, big thing, bro. And I hate how they act like they do. Because, like, it's easy to say that I saw in your notes earlier. It's easy to say that you do these, like, WHAMs every week, every 2 weeks, the one you coined. But I'm sure it's not as simple when you're actually doing it.
That's true.
But it's super easy to say and make it feel concise.
It's actually pretty simple, I ain't gonna lie.
Yeah.
But, like, you're right.
Well, then I'm not right. The fuck?
No, you are, because I instantly think about other things.
Yeah.
Like watch trading. Sounds simple. It's not.
Yeah. Or like if you ask me about ads, it's easy to tell you how to make an ad work. But like it's hard to actually just fucking do it for some reason.
Yeah.
But
Also, wait, real quick. I kind of realized. I think the way that I was able to reframe my mind in every aspect, another thing I ingrained in my mind was that everything works out in your favor.
is that true?
It's always been true ever since I believed it, even if it didn't feel like it.
Okay.
And it's really hard to say that and to believe that because it sounds bullshit. But for some reason, I genuinely, really, really believe that. And I know I didn't always believe that, but I really do.
Okay.
So what if you started telling yourself that?
Everything works out in my favor.
Yeah. You don't believe it at all, do you?
It's just hard to. I think of everybody who bullshit's happened to them in their life. They're in a fucking wheelchair. Like, did that happen in their favor or did it just happen?
I ain't gonna lie, I ain't that far yet, bro. I've been wondering that shit too.
You're just focused on you.
But also, like, for me, like, you can look at my lip and my cleft palate and be like,
Did that happen in your favor or did it just so happen?
It just so happened, but also worked in my favor. Everything works out in your favor. That's what it is. Everything works out in your favor.
All right, let's move on. I'm just thinking of devil's advocate questions now. I'm like, well, what if it's like a football game where it's like both teams want to win? Who the fuck's favor is winning?
The loser works out in their favor. The winner works out in their favor. And I think this shift of mind is actually very, very powerful. And I know it's kind of off topic, but I really want to say it. That shift of mind, it really matters. Because if you look at that, for example, with the ads and how deep you go, making 10K less, 10K less. If you look at it's working out in my favor, instead of being like, fuck, start feeling like, I don't know what the fuck I'm doing. Now it's genuinely, once you actually believe that, this is an opportunity to figure out what to do. There's an opportunity to figure out another thing.
Yeah.
There's an opportunity, this is a new challenge.
It's true.
And I've really been adamant on that for the past 5-6 years, and maybe that's why my mindset's so good. And I'm actually gonna anchor it to that. Everything works out in my favor because I always told myself that. I wrote that every single day. I would envision that. I would envision shit that happened to me working out in my favor. Not in the way that I want it, but in the way that it's for the greater good or God or the higher power. That's how I always look at it.
Okay.
So, yeah. And I think, you know how I really believe in like what we're doing with William Brown, building all that?
Yeah.
I have no idea what the fuck we're doing right now. But I believe it'll work out because I just, in my head, I zoom out and I'm like, in 4 months, we're going to have something because it works out in our favor. We're going to spend 10 grand a month for nothing. Are we allowed to say that? I did sign a document.
Really? NDA?
Yeah. I don't know if it was NDA. I don't know. But, sorry.
This is a contract.
Yeah. So, yeah.
All right. Oh, yeah. 10K a month's still crazy, though. Is it? Like, it is fucking crazy. But,
Yeah.
anyway.
Being an optimistic person is a great communication skill.
It depends.
I'm not talking about that bullshit, bro. I'm talking about the naturally optimistic people where it feels natural.
Okay. I think the difference is people who feel optimistic for you and then people who just feel optimistic for them. Because I think when they feel optimistic just for them, it's like, that's when it feels like when someone's just all optimistic, but you feel like you're going through something. And you're just like, bro. But if they feel optimistic towards you, like, it feels good. If they tell you, like, I know it'll work out for you, that feels better than, bro, everything works out. It's just how it is. The universe works in your favor. And it's just like, they're talking to themselves what really happens when someone says some shit like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and that actually made me realize that's exactly what the energy I was trying to give to you the other day.
At the meeting?
Yeah.
What was it that you said, by the way? Because you didn't say anything bad. You literally said some optimistic shit. I think you were like, I don't know.
Ledarius told me that it felt like I was trying to tell you how to feel. But my intention was like to literally give optimism towards you. But I guess the way I might have done it was like everything was out in my favor. Like I'm good.
No, I think what it more felt like was like, I have genuine concerns that feel real to me. And then to Cody, he's like, oh shit, what should I tell him? What should I teach him? And it's like, that's what it is. And it's like, bro, that's what it felt like.
Okay.
It's like, I ain't here to learn nothing. I'm just here to tell you how I feel.
Okay.
So.
Yeah, maybe I was trying to teach, but what the fuck? Random man magnet here, bro. But.
I say girl, you're weird.
I said, bro. But like a fucking 5-year-old. Anyways. Yeah, what I was trying to do is give optimism to you.
Okay.
So. And this comes to my obscure communication skill, which is seeking to understand, then be understood. It's one of the first communication skills I've ever learned. And it's from a book by Stephen Covey, The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. there's a good chance everybody who's listening to this has heard of that book. And ever since I read that chapter about seeking to understand, then to be understood, I practiced it ever since. I believe I've only gotten better at it.
I have to mention, though, a lot of people, I speak for myself and for many. Sometimes it feels unworth it because it's like, well, they're not doing the same thing. But I think it's a long game play to do that. You're playing the long game with a connection with someone when you seek to understand them first, because it might take a minute.
That's kind of the perspective that I needed.
Yeah.
Because I feel like that sometimes. I'm like, damn, like, if I'm trying to build this connection in a healthy way or understand, and they're not reciprocating it at all, like, I didn't really look at the long game in that.
Yeah.
But it is a long game. But then it's also conditional, if I feel like that. I should just listen and listen.
Would you do business if you'd make $0, but you spent 12 hours a day doing it?
I did that for like 4 years, bro.
Would you do it now?
No.
So what if it's conditional? It ain't love game. That's fine. But the conditional is not necessarily a bad thing, I don't think.
Bro, it's really hard to film podcasts for me.
Really? Why?
Because I seek to understand and to be understood. I don't hold on to any thoughts when somebody's talking, even on a podcast, because it's just natural for me not to anymore.
I get that.
And so I'm always like, fuck, like, I don't know what to say. I feel like I'm going to pause. And it's because I don't latch on to anything while you're talking. I just let it go because I'm listening. But then whenever I do have a spark, when you're done or if I'm responding to something, I don't have anything to say. Because I just let that shit go.
I feel you. Bro, what happens when two great listeners talk to each other? What the fuck does that look like?
Facts, bro.
Anyway, mine, this one's the most obscure. It's actually a book I read called Obscure Sorrows. And it's literally a dictionary for feelings that you can't explain, put into words that usually aren't English. But I read the dictionary twice just so that I could have a very poetic understanding of emotions people can't explain. And I realized that helped me be succinct. Because, like, at the end of the day, the outcome of anything you're saying is a feeling. You make someone feel some certain way to buy something. You make them feel a certain way to feel understood. You make them feel a certain way to want to say yes to hang out. And for some reason, reading that book, it's like it put a new lens in my head of, like, being able to explain things. Because it was poetic. Sounds random, though, doesn't it?
It does sound random, but it makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
But I have a question with that.
What?
What I think about when you say that is how you're a great listener. Why is it so hard to practice that with us?
With what?
Why do you think?
Practice what?
Seeking to understand than to be understood.
Do you think I don't?
I think you do until it comes to you.
What do you mean?
I think you seek to understand unless it's like the problem with you.
I have no idea.
I just want to say, like, what do you think makes it hard to practice it in those moments?
Might feel like a losing battle, I guess. I feel like I know I'm not going to be understood. And the biggest example is, like, instead of being understood, I'm just taught something that I already know. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, it happens pretty often. So I think it's like past experiences turned into built up tensions on that specific thing to do. And it's like, it's just not worth it. I'm just going to go on my own.
Okay. Would you say... I guess I'm speaking from my personal experience. But would you say, for example, Ace, if he had an issue with something that you did, and like he came to you like telling you that he didn't like something that you do you think you would have the same reaction?
What kind of reaction?
Shutting off.
we're on a different page. What do I do that pisses you off? I feel like that's what you're saying.
Well, that's what I was saying at first. Like, if I come to you with an issue, it feels like you shut off instantly. But I'm not coming at that and like attacking. I'm just genuinely wondering, why do you think it's hard to listen to your brother? And I wanted to bring Ace into it because he's not a brother, he's a friend. But I would guess that it's easier to listen to something that he would have an issue with. And I wonder, what is the actual like thing?
It might just be reciprocated. You said it yourself earlier.
When?
I yawn, you yawn. You said it earlier. I said that, but you said like usually people reciprocate things. And maybe that's what it is. And it sounds like I'm deflecting, but like, am I? If I actually do that with Ace, am I deflecting it if I don't do it with you? Because if I know something with Ace, like he is a man of his word. Like the other day, I actually told him, he was trying to give me advice, and I told him my perspective of like sometimes it comes off a little judgy, and then he just listened to just like, tell me more, and I said it, and he was like, okay, I hear you. He was like, I got you, and I was like, all right. You know how with us and stuff, sometimes with those conversations, it doesn't end with I got you, okay.
It was like a fuck you.
No, it's like I got you.
Yeah.
You walk away saying I got you. I think that's like the dynamic we all have.
Like we do to each other? I would agree.
And that's probably what it is.
So how do we break that dynamic?
Two parties agree to not do that.
Do you feel like...
I'll take that back.
But it's just like brother shit too. Like genuinely.
Yeah, but if it is, and it's just corny. Like I'm just like, bro.
Yeah. But I don't accept that. I can't, because I think about Andrew Tate and his brother. They have an amazing relationship with each other.
They do. Okay. Well then,
Let's just...
the age-old question. Wait. Gotta do on the pod. One phrase for every conflict you handle. What do we commit to moving forward?
Keeping an open heart.
But what does that mean? Like, I want an action step.
Whenever you start to feel it close, and you just know you do. Like, if I come to you, I'm like, yo, bro, can I talk to you real quick? It's like, you can either fall into that or not fall into it.
Okay.
Do you think you have a better idea?
Nope. Can't reach that far, dog. No kizzy.
Huh?
Can't really reach that far, bro.
You can't do it.
Can we do the questions and the fucking story?
Oh my god, I was just thinking about that. I'm thinking if I want to say this or not. Do I want to say the WHAM or no?
Might as well.
Sure. Okay. So there's a great communication hack that I learned. Well, actually thought of. I actually created it a while ago. And I apply it to my friends, but mainly my relationship.
He learned it from the 12-week year. He's lying.
I didn't learn it from the 12-week year.
It says it.
No, I learned WHAM from the 12-week year. I just named it from the 12-week year, but I've been doing it for like a year.
Oh.
So there was this one time, I'm going to just go ahead and crumble this so I don't be tempted to look at it. Fuck, I might actually need that. There's 3 points in there. But there was this one time, about a year ago, I had this idea. Every week, me and my girlfriend would sit down for an hour. It used to be 3 hours, but it doesn't take 3 hours. It's like 30 minutes to an hour, depending on the topic. But we schedule time with each other and actually schedule it for an hour. and we just self-reflect with each other. It's personal self-reflection, and it's also relationship. And I coined it weekly accountability meetings. That's actually a thing I learned from the 12-week year. I forgot the author, but it's a book about productivity, basically. But I just decided to call it a WHAM, just so that I can just have a name for it. And you can apply this to your friends. I've applied it to Austin. I've applied it to Brandon, Ledarius, Kevon, my friends. I don't know who I'm missing, but yeah. And there's 3 questions that I always ask. Let me pull out my paper, because that's what I was talking about. And you use this for each prospect. That makes sense. Whether it's your boyfriend, girlfriend, brother, sister, friend, yourself. The first thing you do is you give each other their flowers, or yourself if you're doing this with yourself. The way I used to do it is I would journal, and I would just give myself my flowers. And I write things that I'm proud of myself for. And I write things that I'm happy that I did. I write things that I'm looking forward to. And I just show myself love. And with a person, I tell them what I appreciate about them. I'll tell them the things that they might not know that I notice. I'll tell them a memory that meant a lot to me. It's just whatever flowers that I have to give. Sometimes they're the same, sometimes they're different. But it's whatever I have to give. And I always have something to give, even if I feel some sort of resentment. The second question, what can I improve on? For yourself, it's just self-reflection. I'll journal it, say, what can I improve on? I'll note things that I didn't do very well last week. For example, last week for myself, I went to bed at like 12 every single day. Probably because...
Fucking Roman.
Yeah, my childhood best friend's over. So, whenever, for some reason, whenever childhood best friends link, it's just childish all over again. And so I stay up till 12.
So facts, bro.
Doing some bullshit. It's fun, but it's still bullshit. And yeah, so that's something that I can improve on. Is going to sleep a little bit earlier than 12, because I like to get up earlier than 8 a.m. or 9 a.m. I like to get up at like 7:30. And so another thing, let's say I lost my patience with somebody. I write about that. And I write about the situation. And I visualize it. And I visualize myself responding in a way that I would want to respond. And so it's just things that I can improve on. And then doing this with other people, for example, Austin, it's like, what can I improve on? But that question isn't just what can I improve on, it's what can I do better for you? How can I better serve you? It entails, what do you think I should do? Just in general. It's like a general question. I don't want it to be taken really literally. It's more of whatever issue or conflict or resolution you want to bring up or have. And so, for my relationship, I feel like in a relationship, for some reason, it's always like some sort of conflict, like some little thing. And that's a great time to bring anything up that you haven't talked about. Because in relationships, things don't get brought up. I guarantee you, if you did this with your girl, you're going to say some shit and you're like, damn, I didn't know that you took it that way.
I was just thinking, dude, am I fucked? Because I don't feel an ounce of that.
What do you mean?
Like, I'm chilling. I don't feel an ounce of... If she asks me what can I improve on, I don't know. like there doesn't feel like any conflict for me, my end. So I'm like, maybe I'm blind to it, if there is.
It's something on her end, probably.
Yeah.
But not necessarily what you can improve on, because that's more for a relationship.
What would the question be?
It's more like, if it's for friends, is there anything that you haven't spoken up about lately?
Okay.
And then they speak up about it. And then Ledarius is pissing.
With the door open.
With the door open, bro. And so, that's a beautiful question, because you always will have things that you didn't even know. And it also creates an inviting space because you know the purpose of doing that, and you know the purpose of asking it, and you know the purpose of where you're at. You set the time to listen to that person. You're not catching them at a bad time. You're not catching them at the wrong time. It's the right time because you make it the right time. You both did.
Okay.
So that's the beauty of it. And then you can work through anything. And then the third question, it's just to tie the bow on the thing and to make it 3. What are your final thoughts? For myself, this is, I love you. I'm proud of you. Let's go. It's like that little push, like, let's go. That's how I feel about it. For other people, it can just be telling them I love them. Any more flowers that I thought about during our conversation? Thank you for listening. Thank you for doing this. Thank you for your time. And sometimes I'll end this off playing How Deep We Go.
Really?
Yeah.
You just pick like a random question or something?
Yeah, like we just play around. Like me and my girl, we'll just play around the Lovers Edition or regular.
Describe the feeling you get from that.
This? I ain't gonna lie, I played it so much that like I played it like so many times, bro.
The first 3 times.
The first 3 times. I think it's a little different, but the most notable time, and the reason I said it's a little different for me is because me and her literally built this. And so it's things that we probably already asked.
Yeah, and like in the moment, like it wasn't like you don't pick it and it's like, ooh, it's like, okay.
Yeah. And so, but other couples, they don't ask this. And like we're damn near relationship coaches into a box. And so,
Yeah, honestly.
but a very memorable time was it was our 1-year anniversary. And we were in Gatlinburg and we played it. And I think that was the first time we played it. Because I made sure to bring the only sample that we had at the time. And so I set some wine up. We treated it like a date night. Set wine. We had a jacuzzi inside of our room. It was like a cabin with a jacuzzi in the master bedroom. And so, filled that up. And then sat in there, drank wine, answered the questions. I don't remember what the questions were, but the feeling was just like, it was literally actually like falling in love again.
Really?
Yeah, it's just, sometimes you forget certain things to ask each other.
Yeah.
And you forget that you felt this way in a good way.
Okay.
And you forget that you love this so much about them. And so the questions in here, it kind of reminds you. And then,
Question.
what?
Wait, are you bowing off the thought or were you just going because no one said anything?
I think I was doing the second thing.
Okay, so can I just interrupt?
Yeah.
All right. Fill in the blank.
Bro said, ooh.
Yeah. Ooh. Ooh. Face there. All right. For lovers, makes you fall in love a second time by.
What?
Or wait. For lovers, helps you fall in love all over again by blank. By doing what? Handling conflict, like talking about early memories. Like, what is it? I'm asking for the headline.
This might not help you, but by putting that feeling in your box.
That's fine. All right. I'm going to tell Kitty to clip that and just send it to me. Might get an ad.
By feeling. Fuck, hold on. So yeah, that's the WHAM. That's the weekly accountability meeting. I don't actually call it that. I just call it a weekly reflection. But that sounds kind of lame.
Yeah, so you do whams.
Yeah.
Like, what's your whams for this week type shit?
Yeah, it's just easy to remember.
All right. You ready for the questions?
Huh? Yeah. Sometimes I'll incorporate it, by the way. Like, I just, like, randomly say, like, what's up with it?
So what?
Like, I randomly be like, yo, Brandon, you trying to, like do accountability with me this week?
Trying to wham? Yo, yeah. You trying to
Okay.
wham? See, bro, make methods and acronyms for anything. It makes life easier. Like the flower method, if you write something about that, you're going to remember that when you think of flowers.
Yeah, facts.
Like, maybe that's smelling the roses, and you're going to think of flowers and be like, smell the roses.
All right, so we got some questions on the Instagram story. Let's see how many we got. Actually, not very many.
Which story?
AchieveYou. Oh, wow. These are some, like, pain questions, bro.
Really?
Yeah.
What are they about? What'd you ask?
One of them, well, the question I asked was, ask us a question about communication skills. Somebody said, after a breakup, how do you ask questions without sounding needy? I get that, bro. I get that.
I think I know how. Do you want me to answer?
Yeah. We relate so hard to the next question, but go ahead.
I think, so how do you ask questions after a breakup without looking needy? You make it feel like an invitation and not like a forced altercation. So it makes sense in my head. So framing is like the thing, like it's just how you frame something determines how somebody feels about the thing. At the end of the day, this is cardboard, but we framed it in a way where it gives an outcome. So people willingly pay for it and are glad they did. So that's the same thing with, like, I think a conversation. If after a breakup, you have questions, I think you should literally just let that person know, I have some questions, and it's just so I can get clarity on things. And if they say no, cool, you invited them though. It's better than having a 0% chance that they'll have it. Would you agree with that?
Yes, but there's an issue that I can see, which is what happens to a lot of relationships is you say, I have questions, and it's just for clarity. But really what you mean is, if you tell me something that I don't want to hear, I'm going to go off on you. So people frame it, and everybody knows that that's not really what's going to happen. Once you answer questions in a way they don't want, they're going to go bonkers. It just happens.
What would you say then?
I would say be aware of that first. So this person be aware of that and let the other person know. Because I think both of you know that.
I'm going to put it in words. Bring up the elephant in the room.
Yeah.
About the thing. Like, if you know you probably would do that, say, I know that this is a fear you probably have because it's a fear I would have, but I want to do my best not to do that.
Yeah.
And if I do, you can call me out. And I was like, all right.
Yeah.
Put the ball in their court. Maybe that's
that. Or if it's already over and you want to get back together, just be like, tell me what it is. Be completely honest. I'm probably going to freak out. I'm probably going to cry. But it'd just be better if I knew.
It'd be better, yeah. Is it better if people know, you think?
I don't know.
I don't know. Well, I think yes, because, like, wonder is low-key worse than grieving for yourself. Because grieving for yourself, like, you feel like undeserving of grieving, but wonder, it's like, fuck, it's just curiosity at the end of the day.
That's true. I just thought about something so random. Your husband dies, and then after he died, you figure out he cheated on you, and now you wonder, who else did he cheat on you with?
Yo, the book Verity that I just read, that Joe's read before, what happened was, like, they killed the wife. It was like the writer and the wife's husband, like, they were kind of hooking up, but it was kind of because, like, the wife, like, everybody assumed that the wife killed the kids because the kids died. 2 kids died. But, like, she was really just writing an antagonistic journal entry because it helped clear her mind. Like, for some, she said, it sounds so fucked, but she would write fucked up things because it helped her not think things like that. And so, not necessarily, it's like, it just helped her write better because she wrote antagonist books. And so, at the very end, when they killed her and shit, they read a note under the board of the bedroom that said, like, basically, it was all a lie. Like, none of it was true. And I just wanted you to know that before you try to do anything. But shit, they already killed her.
How'd the sons die?
It doesn't say, but the way she wrote it, she frames it in her manuscript is what it's called, about how she kind of murdered them. And, like, she tells, like, one kid, like, shh, and then she, like, puts the other kid in the water. But really what actually happened is that the kid literally fell in the water, and, like, she was freaking the fuck out and didn't know how to help him or some shit. Like, it was literally an antagonistic journal entry.
Oh, wow.
And, like, it just helped her cope, because you know how people cope in weird ways?
Yeah.
That's what it was. And then the husband killed her, and, like, the girl who found the note, she didn't tell the husband because she was like, this would destroy him. forever. So she literally burned it. And I was like, in my head, I'm like, is it better to know or not to know?
I think it's better to not know if you would have never known in the first place.
Okay, so if there's a third party that fucking swoops in.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like that. Like, he thought he lives okay with the fact that he killed his wife because he thought that she killed his kids.
Yeah, he feels like he did the right thing.
But then if he wonders, like, yeah, that's a whole rabbit hole, bro. We're
It
talking
is,
about
bro.
a fucking
That's
book.
an interesting rabbit hole to go in.
All right, let's answer one more thing.
Okay. What's the question that made you go, ooh, this one's relatable?
How do I comfort people without feeling weird about it?
Nah, bro. I think I've come to terms. Just feel weird about it, bro. It's just weird.
It's not weird, bro. It doesn't. It's not always weird. But it
Okay,
is.
what's the answer? Because mentor in my head, I still haven't figured that shit out. Like, I think you just gotta embrace that shit. What's yours?
Okay. All right, I have a story. When I was 15 in high school, there's a girl I liked, and I would always hang out with her right before school.
Is it the J word?
Yeah. And I always just go to her whenever I got to school. And she had this friend, she's really cool, by the way. Me and her actually, were in a class together, in a group together, my senior year. She was just cool. But I remember one day she started crying, and, I was there. She started crying, and she, was just bawling her eyes out. And I was the first person to notice. I didn't know shit, bro. I was like, I didn't know what the fuck to do, bro. So then the girl that I like, she goes and, what the hell? The girl I like, golly. That shit homo. Dude, that shit gay for I ain't gonna lie.
Alright, this
You
isn't
ruined
a
that
pod,
shirt.
but, like, if you're watching this, is this gay? I don't lie. You look pretty homo.
And
Like,
it's a message on it.
that's a
Yeah,
cool
shift
message on it.
perspective. I'm gay.
Doesn't mean. But fucked up the joke. Let's
Alright.
shift to sexuality.
Let me get,
So
alright,
shit
so
was gay.
yeah, it
That's
does.
pretty gay.
Yeah.
But wear it and see what people say.
I'm not gonna do it, bro. Just don't. Just don't, bro.
Yeah, I'd probably.
Just don't. Throw that shit
Like, you look
away.
like you have a bra on too because you have a tank.
Yeah, bitch. The fuck. Anyways,
We just
bro.
roasted this dude.
So he can't like that.
Dude, Roman's finna. Alright, my fault.
All right, so yeah, so she starts crying, and then the girl that I like, she goes and comforts her, and I felt so weird, bro. I just stood there, and I don't know if I left or not, but I don't remember what happened. And I remember after that, I was like, oh my god, I'm weird, bro. Like, I have no idea how to comfort somebody.
How do you?
And so after that, I was like, I want to figure out how. Never really figured out how.
How would you now if you were to go back?
How would I now? The thing is, it's always been like weird with women. Because I don't want to, for some reason I have a story in my head, like, if I go to hug you, like, you're going to think I'm trying to fucking molest you or something. And so, I think, just, that's ingrained in my mind, just from, stupid ass news articles or some shit. But what I would do in that situation again, I'd probably go up to her, and I didn't know her, by the way, and I'd probably go up to her and be like, hey, are you okay? And she's like, and so, I hug her, and I'd be like, okay, come over here, and then, kind of just be there. And I still don't really know what to do. All I know to do is just be there.
So how would you do it for your girl? Like, say if Joe is crying or
Oh, that's easy. You just hold her.
yeah.
She trusts me.
Okay, so with people who you don't have obvious trust with each other, that's when it's difficult.
Yeah, that's when it's murky for me. I
That
was
is
like,
true.
I got a girl, bro. I can't be hugging you. I'm not gonna-
Dude, all right, can I ask you a scenario?
Yeah.
All right, let's say you're in Fosco and you see some girl, and I'll say it so you don't have to. She's really pretty. Your girl would think she's pretty, you would think she's pretty, and she's crying and shit. She's not okay. No one checked up on her. But you notice her. Do you just ignore it?
Nah, I can't. My girl will probably get mad, jealous, but I can't
Can't what?
ignore her.
What would you do? Genuinely.
Probably go up there, be like, hey, are you okay? And then, I don't know, just some, maybe put my hand on her shoulder, or just hold her hand. For some reason, that's really comforting. Just hold her hand, it's okay. Yeah, and maybe be like giving you a hug, and then give a hug. Yeah.
Okay.
But that brings me, the bros. Comforting the bros when they're going through something. That's where I feel weird still.
I gotta be vulnerable with you, bro. One thing I hate that almost everybody does, but I noticed you do it a fuck ton. By the way, earlier, I was not in a bad mood, but it kind of pissed me off when you were like, because you thought I was. And like in my head, I was like, if I was, he would have done that shit. And like, he would literally just be like, what the fuck? Instead of being like, yo, like, you straight, bro? And like, it's more like you good? And like, I noticed like that shit. I feel like a lot of people would relate to that. Like, it don't feel good when people do it like that.
Oh, you good, man?
Yeah, it's like, bro, you good? Instead of just be like, yo.
Wait, did I do that? Like,
You're literally standing like this.
yeah.
And I was like, in my head, I was like, he thinks something wrong with me, bro. Like, anyway. Yeah, so I'd probably say don't do that.
Okay.
Meet them at the level they're at the end of the day.
Yeah. To provide clarity, by the way, the story in my head was actually that you had your headphones on and you were either in a bad mood or you just didn't realize how loud you were being. And so I was just like, because it's just funny. And then, like, I genuinely was like, yo, like, you good? Like, just asking, because like, at first I just thought you were just being loud. And then I was like, there's something wrong. So, yeah. Like, I wasn't trying to be a dick. It was really
I understand. But what I'm trying to get you to understand, too, is like, regardless, like, for some reason, the way you come off when you ask if you're good, it's like annoying. Like,
annoying?
Like you good? Like, what the fuck?
I was
wrong
like,
with
you're
you?
not actually asking if you're good.
Yeah. It's
I
like,
got you.
I'm pretty sure it's the vibe of like, the fuck wrong with you? Without any bad intent, but it's probably the vibe. Instead of like, hey, yo.
I got you.
Honestly, I think of like the different feeling would be like a hand on the shoulder, but don't do that shit because I'm gonna ruin that shit. Like the hand on the shoulder vibe. What the fuck is that joke we always have?
Dude, Brandon was crying one time and I put my hand on his shoulder, bro.
Hey, Bosco's?
Yeah, I was trying to. No, it was that bodacious. I was trying to comfort my brother, bro. And then I instantly became a meme, bro. That's why I don't. That's why I feel weird. Fucking
No, bro. It's
comforting
funny because
people.
Daxie made you the meme before anyone else did, bro. He was like, dude, that shit was funny.
Bro.
Anyway, is that the pod?
Let's see, man. Yeah, this pod was all over the place, boys. Hopefully y'all enjoyed it, though. I enjoyed it. It was fun.
Yeah, it was chill. Good combo.
You go ahead and tell them any final words, bro.
Inspired game. That's all I gotta say.
Hey, tell the guys to come out real quick. Alright. Never mind. Like that, boys. That's the pod. Oh. Never mind. I was just showing me a shirt. But say bye.
You want to print my downfall?
Yeah.
Bye, guys. I hope you.
They can't hear you, bro.
Huh? Oh, bye, guys. I hope you enjoyed the podcast. And don't forget, get you one of these if you want to build your connection with your partner or your best friend. Just like my best friend behind the camera, you know, we play this every night. And would you say our bond got better?
Yeah.
There you go. I'm a walking testimony by the game. If you said I love you to your girlfriend too, get this too. I bet you it's questions you never asked your girl in this box right here. So yo shit after this.
Bro.